Hello. So today I want to talk to you about Menagerie, Unlock the Wonders of a Miniature World. And we had a new Barnes& and Noble open up in my area, which I was super excited about. So of course I had to go check it out, check out the game section, and this just managed to come home with me. But this is a beautiful game where you are building out a terrarium in front of you. So it's a tableau style building game. You are going to be getting hopefully 15 insects. The first person to do so will trigger the end of the game, and everyone will get an equal number of turns, and then you score up, and the most points wins. But this is just, it's such a cute looking game, even though it's bugs that sometimes creep me out. I just adore it. So you've got the pretty gold foiling on the box, and then you're going to have your center board, which is where each of the insects will be. And there's going to be 6 insects available to you at the start of your turn. And it's really smart that they have these cutouts here, because then you can just push and it will pop the card up for you. So you're not having to try and dig the card out of this dual layered board. So very smart on their part. So insects come in 5 different colors. Looks like we have all but green currently represented. So to start the game, everybody is going to get their terrarium, and it's terrarium 1, 2, and 3, and each one can hold 5 insects. So that's going to be your individual play area, and this center board you will be picking from, and it will refill at the end of your turn. So the next player will have a full 6 insects to pick from. There are then also these discovery tokens, which can help you kind of chain actions together. They're really cute little wooden magnifying glasses. And then there are iridescent tokens that you can pay for to get, and they are just a straight 2 points at the end of the game. There is a player aid included for every player, because it is a 1 to 4 player game. And I do enjoy the solo mode on this. It feels very competitive. You still are doing beat your own score, but I do like the way that it works. So one side, it tells you what the insect abilities are, and on the other side, it walks you through your turn, which is a great player aid. And I wish all games included enough for everybody. So you then have your stack of insect cards that we will be refilling with. And to start the game, everyone is going to be dealt 2 benefactors, and they will keep 1. And they are going to be dealt 2 showcase cards that are going to get them some endgame scoring. Benefactor usually gets you an ability early on. This gets you end game scoring, and you pick 1. Obviously, if you're playing with maybe younger kids, you could leave either or both of these out. And when you're playing solo, you can increase your difficulty by taking cards that would be harder to maximize. So you can kind of play around with your abilities there a little bit. So on your turn, you will take 2 of the discovery tokens and put them in front of you. And then with your 3 terrariums, you are going to choose which one you are going to unlock this round. So I'm going to unlock number 2. So that means that unless an insect has an ability that says otherwise, I can only play in terrarium 2. Some of them say otherwise. So this is how you're going to try and chain things and maximize what you can do on a turn, because it is sort of a race to 15. Because if you can get 15 that score really well, faster than other people, that's going to bode well for you. At the end of the game, you are going to score points for the number of colors or types of species, essentially by their family, that you have in each terrarium. So if you can get all 5 colors in your terrariums, you will get more points. There is a little chart in here that shows you how you get points, and then you also get points for whatever your showcase token is, and then 2 points, like I said, for any iridescent token that you have collected. So if I am going with terrarium number 2, the first insect you take is free. No cost. I took my 2 discovery tokens, and I can take who I want. And at this point, I'd probably want to know what my showcase is so I can work towards it. But let's just see. So what's nice is if I were to take, say, this ghost ant, it has 2 abilities on it, and I get to use one of those abilities. So the fierce one says I can move an insect from another terrarium, move an insect from this terrarium into a locked terrarium. I don't have any yet, so that's not super helpful. But the other one says small, and it says this may be placed into a field. Why can't I read today? Like, I know these. I just played this game a million times. Maybe placed from the field here into a locked terrarium. So I could place it into one of my locked terrariums, which is great and super helpful because now I was able to place where I don't have there. And especially as you have more insects in your terrarium, you may be wanting certain colors in certain spots where you don't have it unlocked. And each turn you get to unlock whichever one you want. So it will change and you can do that. And then if I had 3 discovery tokens, I could spend 3 of them to take another insect from the field and use its action. So that's why getting 2 of these at the beginning of every turn is very helpful. So if you take one with the pattern action and you place it into a terrarium, as long as it goes next to a different color, then you gain 1 of these. So again, super helpful. Fierce, like I told you, lets you move an insect from this terrarium to a locked terrarium. So if I had, let's say I already had some here, and I took this, and now I could use Fierce, and it would let me move one of these into a locked terrarium, and then we'd slide everything down. So that's where, once you get going, having these abilities is very important. If you have the big icon, you can spend 2 to take the insect next to this one that you just drafted. Small is where you may place from the field to a locked terrarium, and an iridescent symbol, you can spend 1 of these to take an iridescent token, which will get you 2 points. So you can start to see how you can chain multiple actions together as the game gets going. So you're worried about your colors for points, you're worried about your showcase card for endgame points, and then you're worried about having enough discovery tokens so that you can take multiple insects on a turn. So there's a lot going on, but it's really straightforward, which I like because you can play this with just about anyone. Plus it looks great. Like, look at the amazing artwork on these cards. I don't even really like insects. They kind of creep me out, but that mantis is gorgeous. And here's a different butterfly. So there's, none of them are super creepy, which I also appreciate. They're just gorgeous. So then you would refill. For the next player, you would pass the key to them and they are going to unlock and they are going to do the same thing. And then, like I said, once someone has 15, we're all going to get the same number of turns, and then we are going to go into final scoring. And when you play solo, there's a way that you are taking cards and cards are leaving the field. And once 10 have left the field, then you go into final scoring, or if you hit 15 before that happens. So I think Menagerie, Unlock the Wonders of a Miniature World. The subtle title always gets me. I just call it Menagerie. But if you look it up on Board Game Geek, there's several menageries. I think this is a fun game. I really like it. So let me know what you think of it. Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.